Hey everyone and welcome. We are here at NAB 2022 in Las Vegas. I have PhotoJoseph here with me. Welcome, PhotoJoseph.
Thank you.
We are actually streaming to a few different channels right now, so I know that there's a few people watching from your channel right now.
Yeah, that's right.
Just wanted to let you guys know if you have any questions or anything that you wanted to know about, please feel free to put those in the chat. We will go through those later on.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I'll scroll through the chat as we're starting to wrap up the conversation. I'll scroll through and see if there's any questions. So if you guys want to know anything about what we're doing and talking about here, be sure to drop it into the chat and I will pull that up.
Yeah, thanks. So let me ask you first, how's the show been for you so far?
I wish I knew.
Now.
I wish I knew. I've barely been out here, so I'm teaching here. I'm working with the post-production world track, and so I've been teaching up there, and I haven't had a lot of time to see the show floor, but from what I've seen so far, it's been good. I'm really impressed at how packed it is. I was not expecting this many people here.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. It's a reduced size than usual, right? It's like about
I guess. It's funny because normally it's north, central, and south, and now it's central, north, and west, the new hall.
And you're giving talks at the West Hall, right?
I am doing one out there. That's the only one that's open to the public, to anybody. The others are all part of the paid post-production world track. So it is more spread out. I don't know if there's less floor space. There has to be. There has to be less floor space than normal. But I haven't walked around enough to see how big or small it feels. I just know there's a lot of people here, which is great.
Yeah, I haven't had a lot of chances to walk around either, but we've been really busy here. We've had a lot of traffic, and it's so good to see everyone's faces finally.
Totally.
In person, and it's a great experience just being back in.
It is. This place is clearly a walking petri dish. I'm a little scared, but
we'll get through it.
We'll get through it. It's just so good to be back.
Yeah.
It really is.
Super
really
good.
is.
Super good. Yeah. So, what are you giving talks about over there?
Yeah, so the track is called Post-Production World, and so it's, ideally it's about post-production, but of course these days that means a lot of different things, and I'm doing a lot of talks about live streaming. So some of it is one of the talks is like a minimalist live streaming setup that goes into your backpack, a mobile live streaming rig. I did one on that. I did one on getting started. Actually, the one that's over in West Hall that I'm doing 3 times is the only one that I'm repeating. 7 courses, 9 time slots. It's a lot going on. That one is about building a compact streaming kit, and the idea there is if you're just getting started and you're starting from your kitchen table, starting from a spare bedroom, what gear do you absolutely need? What's the most efficient, most cost-effective, smallest, fit into a little space kind of a thing? So that's one of the talks that I'm doing. I just did one this morning that was a ATEM training where I took a 5-hour course and I shoved it into 1 hour. Which was all done via slides because I don't have my whole production studio here to actually show stuff. So that was quite an interesting one to do. But I explained to the audience that this is, we're not going to take 30 years of broadcast history and pack it into 1 hour, but we are going to do a lot. And by the end of this, you will know if you want to continue down this road or not. If you want to find out how deep that rabbit hole goes.
So I know you haven't had a lot of opportunity to walk around the show floor, but is there anything that's really cool that you've seen at other booths?
Yeah,
I know
no
you've
doubt.
been here a little bit. But
well, here, and we're going to talk about what you're doing here, extremely cool, and it's definitely one of the top things here that I've seen so far. But one of the other big ones is over on the Atomos booth. The new Ninja 5 add-on and the new Shogun with their camera-to-cloud tech in there is so amazing. To be able to go, so I'm sure you've seen it, but for those who might not have seen this yet or heard about it, so it's an add-on for the Ninja 5 or a new Shogun, whole new product, and when you're capturing there, you record simultaneously ProRes or ProRes RAW, depending on the setup, and an HEVC file, and then as soon as you stop recording, that HEVC file gets pushed to the cloud, to Frame.io's camera-to-cloud system, and then anybody with access, it could be a director, it could be an editor, it could be anybody, can start pulling those files and start cutting, start previewing, just monitor and say, ooh, this shot's, let's change this shot a little bit. It's incredible. That is just amazingly awesome. So the way that works, it looks super clean, and I'm really excited to get my hands on that.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would use it in my production, but I can see the potential for so many different types of workflows that it's really cool. We got to do this. We're going to check it out.
Yeah. So I guess I'll talk a little bit about what we're doing here today.
Yeah.
So we're demonstrating Epiphan Unify, which is a new cloud production tool that Epiphan is looking to release very, very soon. What we're doing here is we have 3 cameras set up, and with our Pearl Nano encoders, they are streaming SRT directly to the cloud. We have our video producer who's doing all the production for it. So he's changing the layouts, as you can see, cropping shots, and he's doing that all completely remotely. So he's based in Ottawa, Canada.
Okay.
He sees it with about a 200 millisecond delay. There he is now. So another cool thing that we're kind of doing, what we recently did is we updated our Pearl Nano to include H.265 and HEVC.
Right.
And that's how we're actually able to do these 3 SRT streams on a 10 megabit per second connection.
A very expensive 10 megabit connection.
Super expensive 10 megabit per second connection, but it's been working out really well for us. We haven't really seen any like artifacts or no downtime really. So it's
to be streaming 3 HD signals over 10 megabit in near real time. That's impressive.
Yeah, and then we're having one come down as well, so we can see the final output on a conference here, one over there as well.
Right.
And that's kind of the new thing that we're showing here at Epiphan. Of course, we have our regular hardware offering as well. But this is one of the newest tools that we're putting out there.
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit more about the actual setup. So each camera, so people who are watching at home who might want to start building this out, I know it's not available yet, coming soon-ish. So each camera needs its own Pearl.
Well, no. It doesn't need its own Pearl. So for Epiphan Unify, you can actually send any SRT signal to it. So you don't even need a Pearl for that.
Oh, okay.
You can have a camera that has SRT built into it, send those directly to Unify as well. It'll work the exact same way.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you are going to add a Pearl, was it the Nano or the Mini?
We're using the Nano.
We're using the Nano.
Yeah.
But you can use any of them.
Yes.
They all do the SRT stream.
Yes.
Okay, so using the Nano. Using the Nano. Okay, so that's using the new upgrade that just came out.
Yeah,
right.
H.265.
The H.265 upgrade. Okay.
It's firmware 460.
Okay, so that's streaming up, and what is the actual bit rate of each signal? Do you know offhand?
Ooh, I'm not actually sure. Jeremy, do you? 1.5 megabit per second. I have the producer in my ear telling me right now. So
1.5, and okay, so using. I mean, you live audience, you tell us how this looks. 1.5 megabit, that's not a lot.
No.
That is not a lot at all, but HEVC really makes a big difference there.
Oh,
if that was an H.264, it would not look as good. I'm looking at a signal right now. I mean, that looks pretty good where I'm sitting from. Shiny head aside. Can't do anything about that, but it looks good. And yeah, wow, now I'm seeing the delay. That's actually really that's good. Wow. That is impressive.
Yeah.
And that's looping back. That's the loop back, so we're adding that.
Exactly, yeah, that's the live feed right there. Yeah.
So now, what Jeremy's doing in Ottawa, in the cloud system, he's looking at a system that is basically a software switcher, as if he was sitting at a hardware Pearl where using that software interface, but he's just doing it through the cloud.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much identical right now, how the interface looks like, but that isn't something that we are married to. We're gonna change it up a little bit and make it a little bit more friendly. But yeah, I mean, he's doing that just through a web browser right now at home.
And so he could literally be sitting on his couch on an iPad or something doing this if he really wanted to be.
He could,
super cash about it.
Yeah, he could.
So yeah, when his camera goes off, we know that's where he's moved to.
Exactly.
Take it a little bit easier. That is incredible. That is very cool. I think that really does change a lot of things. And so of course, because it's all just streaming up there, we could have cameras anywhere in the world.
Exactly, yeah. These don't have to be in the same space at all. And we can actually synchronize them, so we can add a delay through the SRT feed and make sure that there is.
So the slowest camera, the slowest feed, everything else can just be buffered into that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, super. Wow, that's really cool. And then now it's, as we've obviously encountered before, we discussed before, this is a one-way stream. So for that back channel communication, if you wanted to have a 3-caller interview, let's say, and each of the 3 people are in different parts of the world, they still need some way to talk to each other.
You will need a back channel, yeah. And right now we're using Microsoft Teams, but you could really use anything, Zoom, WhatsApp, Skype, yeah, exactly.
Right, just anything. Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
It's a great system. It is really cool. And everything is moving to cloud. Obviously, that is the thing. If there's any kind of buzzword around NAB, it's cloud and LED backdrops, apparently, which everybody keeps telling me. I haven't gotten to see them yet, but apparently that's a big deal. But yeah, this, between this and what we're seeing with Atmos, the camera to cloud, it's really impressive. It's super cool stuff. I'm excited to play with it some more. Yeah. We'll have to do another one of those shows where we had Curtis and Aaron and everybody calling in,
we'll
get people from all over the world, and we'll do that. And then this time we'll have it switched in the cloud.
Yeah,
definitely. As soon as it's ready, let me know. We'll do one.
We'll do it.
Very cool. Right on.
Hey.
So let me see if there's any questions coming in on the chat. So again, folks who are watching on my channel, if you have any questions at all, please do drop them in the chat. Now's your chance. And I don't know. Let me scroll through this real quick. You want something else you want to talk about while I do this? Hello from Hamburg. Oh, actually, let's just do this. We got people from Hamburg, Guatemala, Caracas, Trinidad and Tobago. Wow, that is awesome. People from all over the world watching. People saying they wish they could be at NAB. No Wingred is asking, is this going to solve all of our virtual all-staff remote presenter issues? I mean, it could.
We hope so.
I hope so. Got Ghana in the house, South Carolina. So far, that's the closest.
Yeah, no, that's really cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
What's in my streaming backpack? Hey, Guy, I did a show on that. We'll talk about that another time. Cool. Looks amazing. Looks great. In the UK as well. Indiana, another local.
Yeah.
Bailey's asking, when are you looking at releasing and at what price point? I don't think either of those are set yet, correct?
Yeah, that is correct. So we don't actually know. We're hoping in the next few months we will be able to release it, but as things usually go, they get delayed, especially nowadays, and we don't have a price point for it yet. So right now at NAB, this is kind of what we're doing. We're showing it off and gauging interest, seeing what people want to pay for it, and what
stress
kind of
testing it under the worst possible internet conditions.
And there are no worst possible conditions.
Seriously.
I feel like conference centers really have some of the
are the ultimate nightmare for this sort of thing.
Yeah. And so far it's been amazing. It's been really good. We've been shooting interviews for the past 3 days.
Nice.
And we're just streaming them to our own personal channel. We're not publishing them publicly. It's just unlisted streams for now, because we don't know if people want to really be public about what they're talking about. We'll let them decide. They can share their content as they wish.
And we should even point out the fact that it's streaming to my channel as well.
Right.
That's something that Jeremy was able to just hit a button and add another.
Exactly. Yeah, he just added another stream to Epiphan Unify, and we have one going to you, one going to us, and that's pretty much how we're doing it. Yeah.
That is cool. Right on. We'll see if anything else came up, and then Australia's in the house as well. Wow. Virgin Islands. It's amazing. And how are we doing audio? Oh, Jonas, that's a great question. Yeah, let's talk about the audio flow.
So it's pretty interesting how we did audio. We have lav mics on right now, and it's feeding to a Soundcraft mixer that's in one of these trusses here. Okay. You guys can't see these trusses right now, but they're behind the cameras. And we have an audio gate set up, so we're able to cut out a good bit of the background noise that is typically coming from the show floor. The Sony booth is right over there, and sometimes their speakers get super loud, but we haven't had that interfere with any productions yet so far. And audio is being routed to one of the Pearl Nanos that are on these trusses, and we're just sending that one audio stream up to Unify.
Okay, so you're relying on the audio mix here, but you could also be sending each individual stream through the camera through its Pearl.
We could.
And then Jeremy could be mixing the audio on that end as well if you wanted to.
We could, we could be doing that. But we're just sending one stream up from one Pearl. We're trying to save on bandwidth wherever we can.
Yeah, no doubt. And then we can hear Jeremy, so how are we hearing him?
So we're hearing Jeremy through Microsoft Teams right now.
That's all, okay.
We have IFBs in our ears here.
Yeah,
and
this is cool, I like this.
Yeah, no, it's really nice. It's actually, I've never really worn one of these before, and they're pretty comfortable. It's pretty simple. It's just connected to a NUC that's in one of these trusses here, and then going into our ears here.
Simple.
So,
okay.
Nothing too complicated.
Yeah, great question. I'm glad that somebody asked that. Jonas, thank you for asking that. Aloha in Hawaii, are you syncing or just use SRT to keep it in sync? I think he means, does Jeremy have to manually sync them? I mean, these are probably in sync because they're here, but in a normal situation, if they weren't.
You would have to sync them, and you could add a delay to the SRT stream. That's if you are in actually different locations. Right. But since we're all in the same location,
so when you do that syncing, is that a manual process, or is there some kind of automated way?
There is no automated way yet, but we are working on that.
Nice.
And that is going to be a part of another firmware release eventually. Okay. But so far you have to do it a manual way. And I remember when you were on the show, you had a really clever way of doing it. You all held up the Atomic Clock app on your phones.
Exactly.
And that's how you figured out how big the delay was.
Right. And then we could adjust for there. Yeah. Now we didn't have the power to adjust it, but that is how we were able to calculate it.
Exactly. Yeah. And then we could just do the adjustments on our end.
Right. Yeah, that's good. Making it automatic would be awesome.
Yeah. That is something that we are working on. It is
really good.
In the pipe.
All right, and then someone else saying hello from Oman in the Middle East. We've hit add Antarctica in there. We might have covered all the continents. That's pretty good. Well, thank you so much. This has been really cool, and thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks a lot for coming on to the show. It's a pleasure to have you.
Appreciate it. Very cool. Thank you, everybody, for watching and asking some good questions. That was great. I'll have to go check out the feed later. I want to hear how good the sound gating was.
Yeah, let me know, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Right on.
Well,
thank you.
Thanks again. See you, everyone. Bye-bye.